Hey guys, welcome to the Gods Unchained Beta with the TheProfesserf. Alright, today I want to show you my Deception deck that takes advantage of the recent buff to Assassin's Aim. So over at GU Decks, I created a deck list, called it the Cats of Kargas. So the deck list takes advantage of the Shadow of Lethanon and Switch Duelists as your main damage dealers. You have Dark Knives to give them +3 attack, and you also have Assassin's Aim to give them an additional +3. However, there's a -1 to your health, but it gives it hidden. So you want to take advantage of all these buffs to do as much damage as possible to your enemy and get them down to 0 quickly. We have other cards here like Trial Spirit and Shield Bearer to give additional health to the Shadow of Lethanon and the Switch Duelist. And we have other cards here to help control the board and do chip damage like Satyr Hypnotist, Umber Arrow, Hunting Trap, and a couple of other good cards like Jinx Blade Duelist, a hidden creature, so you could push extra damage in the hooded figure. So a better version would include Orfeo and of course Genesis cards, but this list is focused on Core Welcome and Trial of the Gods cards. So I've been running various versions of it that's very similar with maybe a card change here and there, and I've done very well over the last few games. So we'll go over the deck real quick and we'll do a playthrough. So one thing I've changed is I've added another Trial Spirit to give additional health for a creature and reduce the Wild Hog to just 1 instead of 2. We have an Amazon Spirit Soul. This one is really as a high gamble play. If you're going first, turn 1, you could bag of tricks and get this out on turn 1 and do 4 damage right away. You could then hide it on turn 2 and do another 4 damage the next turn. So 8 damage off the bat. But again, this is a high gamble play and you could easily replace this if you're not comfortable with that move. You could play around with your 3 drops if you prefer 2 Jinx Blade Duelists or 2 Shadows. If you want, you could also replace the Inconspicuous Carriage. But I like having these here because it gives you a front line to protect creatures that are no longer hidden, and also the opportunity for the bomb to get drawn by your opponent. Other good deception cards are Vault Vagabond and also Slipblade. Alright, let's go ahead and take the deck out for a game. Versus Magic, we always go with Cheat, going second. Going second, we don't want the Amazon Spirit Soul. This is good. Again, Magic has spells that could hit hidden creatures for 1 health, so this is a good start right here. Skeleton Heavy, we might throw it back, see if we get something more aggressive. We don't need the Hypnotist. A Wild Hog is okay here. We could basically go wide early on, but let's see if we get something else like maybe a Dark Knives. Axwoman's pretty good. Alright, our opponent used their bag right away, so now we know they don't have any more bags. We Shadow of Lethanon. And again, we're watching out for Tracking Bolt, so we want to give it +1 health. Trial Spirit is also a good Assassin's Aim target, because he has so much health here. Shadow of Lethanon will get rid of the Protected. There's the Tracking Bolt. Alright, we want to go wide, give us more options. Allows us more targets for Assassin's Aim. The Sail Weaver with a ward would be a good target for Assassin's Aim. However, it only has 2 health. Okay, looks like we have no choice, but Dreader's Sail Weaver will be our target for Assassin's Aim. Okay, so we pretty much want to do Dark Knives here. Assassin's Aim here. So next turn, we have 1 damage from the ability, plus 4, plus 5, so 10 damage. Okay, now it's a quick concede. All right, facing off against nature. We go with cheat. Going second. Nature is definitely a tough matchup for this deck, especially when they choose Leech Life. They are probably 60% or more to win. All right, we're going second, so we don't want Spear Soul. We don't want a 3 mana creature. Axwoman is great. We don't need the Shiv. We don't need 4 mana creature. This is a decent opening. We were going first. Going second is not as powerful. We're hoping he doesn't have a Canopy Barrage, but he could probably use his bag and just use a Leech Life. Okay, Canopy. Maybe this one. Okay, that's not bad. Cat's a little bit more important for us. Okay, we're expecting the Leech Life next turn. So we want to go ahead and play the Axwoman. And then bag out our Trial Spirit. And we want to give it to the Axwoman. Because even if we make this 2 health, this will still kill it. So we might as well just give the buff to the Axwoman. So now his Leech Life only works here. If he hits this or this, Leech Life won't work. Okay, Faithful Blade's not that strong here. Okay, we definitely, instead of using Assassin's Aim, we want to go ahead and put the carriage out because that's just so much health at 6. And then everything just goes directly. We could even set up the carriage to be the recipient of the Assassin's Aim. It has so much health, we could keep hiding it. Okay, we're at 11 favor, so we're actually thinking about getting the Basilisk as well. We'll see what we do here. Okay, so our options are Assassin's Aim to this, so that'll be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, puts him down to 11. Or we could actually play the Basilisk, break his weapon, and add another creature on the board. So this one's a safer play, so we might actually go with the Basilisk here. Okay, so that was an example of a tough matchup versus nature. They probably had a bad start as well, but again, playing around and being a little bit careful on knowing what our weakness is versus nature, where we could add the health buffs and putting 2 or more creatures on the board to minimize the random removals that nature has, can help us gain an advantage and hopefully pull out a win. All right, give the deck a try and let me know what you think.